Okay, so what I just said there about hell, really what the Bible just said. What the Bible just said, not what I just said, what the Bible just said. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. You see, hell, this place that's been told to you that these people are still preaching, and there are even some people telling me I'm going to go to hell and all this kind of stuff. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea what they're talking about. You know what this hell is? Hell is the holding place for souls, which is in the earth. We find that in the Hebrew Bible, the Hebrew narrative, all the way from the book of Enoch to this book itself right here that you're staring at, the King James Version, we have records that say that people, souls, when they die, the good as well as the evil, are held in repositories within the earth. Fact. That is what the hell is. That is what is being referred to as giving up the dead that were in them, because it's the holding place, the repositories for these souls. So when this sacrifice takes place by the fallen, it creates a huge amount of souls. So at that time, the spirit wisdom is to do the roll call for the ages and call all of the souls that have been held within the repositories of both the evil and the good, as well as those that have died on earth in this event. And then they're all being risen to this dispensational age judgment. Now, what's really incredible is that you guys now have the proof here to show that without a doubt that the lake of fire and hell are two separate things, and that you now have a biblical source that can prove in death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. What does that mean? It means those that are coming from this place of death and hell, those are the ones that are going to be cast into the lake of fire. Right. These will be the souls of the fallen that the book of Enoch says they are no longer allowed to ascend to heaven. So when these Nephilim children, who the book of Enoch says lived some 500 years, in the ancient of times, this descendancy has been living and dying all the way up to our time now. Well, what happens to their souls? Well, book of Enoch, as well as the Hebrew Bible, says they're held in crystal repositories. That's hell. That's the symbolic hell of this place where there's no food, there's no water, it's hot as heck, it's hot as hell. Basically, it's torture, all right? They can't get out, and then they're down there with the devil and the pitchfork. Bingo, Apollyon. Apollyon is a king over them. King over who? King over the locust, Revelation 9:11. Who are the locusts? Symbolizes the Pleiadians and the Orions, further distinguished by that of the symbolic tribe of Dan as the ancient mighty men, which would be the offspring of the sons of God, with the daughters of men of Genesis 6, known as the Nephilim. So when these Nephilim beings, these demigods die, their souls are held in crystal repositories. They're sealed in them, and that we see at this time of judgment, in the spirit judgment, all of those are going to be brought to the spirit judgment. All of them. Both the good and the bad will be risen to a spirit judgment simultaneously. All those that have passed and have died and have been held in these repositories. So we don't have a lot of time, because I could do, like I said, 50 videos on this, and I'm going to do this. Many of you guys have been asking for a long time. So what's peculiar here is that we see that hell is not a place that you're actually going to go to after you're judged by God. He doesn't send you to hell. Hell is a place where you go where you await judgment. And then there's two locations. There's a place for the fallen, which they are awake. It's not like they're sleeping, and they can't eat and they can't drink. And that's why they're trying to use this sacred geometry to be contacted so that they can get some sort of stimulus in this place where they are. And then the righteous are being held as like they were asleep. And they're waiting this judgment, this dispensational age in the spirit. It's all right here. It's all right here without a doubt. So the ones that are in death and hell are the fallen, and we see those are the ones that are cast into the lake of fire. I'll be back.